Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Super exciting day today. I'm sure a couple of you, or maybe most of you, are aware of the POCO F6 launch. I do have both models with me today. I have the X6, the standard F6, as well as the F6 Pro. And today's video is going to be more of the POCO F6. Now, if you ask me secretly which one do I actually recommend and prefer, I think if you want to save a couple of bucks but still get the best performance for your money, definitely you got to check out the POCO F6. Let's begin today's video right away. Now, first things first, let's talk a bit about the price. Here in Malaysia, the POCO F6 is going for, the early bird price is like something around 1,500 ringgit-ish. Check out the links below for the latest pricing, and that puts it about 500 ringgit more affordable than the F6 Pro. So yeah, back to the F6. A couple of things that I really like here. Number one, the value champ, or the king of value, is definitely back. So what we have here is actually the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. And guys, this is a Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. I can't believe that they actually managed to pull this off and put it under 2,000 ringgit. I mean, 1,000 ringgit plus for a Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. And it doesn't stop there, because POCO is always focused on performance. They've actually upgraded the RAM as well as the storage compared to the last year's F5. And this time around, you're getting the fast RAM, that is LPDDR5X, and you're also getting fast storage, that is UFS 4.0. Again, depending on the variant that you go with, you can either get like the 8GB of RAM version or the 12GB. And if you ask me, I think you should just go for the higher spec one, because it's just a couple of 100 ringgit more, and it's actually giving you that 512GB of internal memory, which I think is very important in today's environment. Alright, so having said all that, I should show you all a couple of benchmark scores. I'm sure many of you might be curious to find out about that. So I'm going to show you very quickly right now the Antutu score. So this is what we got on the POCO F6. Moving on, this is also the Geekbench 6 score. And last but not least, we also have the Wildlife Extreme Test score. So everything is on your screens. Again, if you just want to compare it with other devices, this device is as close as it gets to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 flagship processor. Now that's saying a lot, because if you just look at phones with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, it's going to be at least more than double the price of the POCO F6. So yeah, performance-wise, you can expect the best of the best at this price range. It's unbeatable. Now moving on, what else has changed, or should I say what else remains the same? Now at the front, you still get that very familiar, as usual, the 6.67-inch AMOLED display. It still refreshes at 120Hz. There's no 144Hz here, unfortunately. The good thing here is that the maximum peak brightness has been increased. So let's say if you're outdoors a bit more, you shouldn't have any issues looking at the display. But yeah, it's a very familiar display that you might have already seen on the previous POCO devices. Nothing too much to expect about that there. What else do we have here? In terms of the battery, we do have that same 5000 mAh battery. Again, very common, but it does support that 90-watt fast charge, so charging the device up is going to be fairly quick. And one more thing that you might want to note here is in terms of the cameras at the back. Now, compared to the POCO F5 from last year, it's actually got a new sensor. The Sony IMX882 is a 50-megapixel unit that comes with OIS. We've already seen this sensor on a couple of other phones. You also have an 8-megapixel ultra-wide sensor over here, and there's no useless 2-megapixel macro depth lens. It's only a strictly dual sensor at the back, which I think is actually great, because they do get to save a bit of costing there. Now, in terms of the photos, I don't think you can expect a lot here. Again, POCO is really focused on performance. We have a decent sensor. OIS is there, so pictures at night will be a bit more stable. But again, don't set your expectations too high when it comes to the photography taking experience. Anyway, I'm going to share with you a couple of photo samples on your screens. Again, depending on the weather, the photos might look different. Now, last but not least, let's talk a bit about that design. Now, personally, I'm a huge fan of this brand new sort of like grayish colorway. It's super matte at the back, guys. Just listen to this. Very, very smooth, and honestly speaking, a bit too slippery if you ask me. The frame itself, everything is in matte, and to my eyes, this looks fantastic, but to my hands, it's definitely, you might need a case to use with this guy. If not, you might drop it and smash it. So yeah, that's in terms of the design. You do get that IP64 water resistance, which I think is great on a POCO device. And you also get that X-axis linear haptics engine, which again makes the vibrations, the haptics very nice to feel on the POCO F6. So yeah, at the end of the day, what do I think of the POCO F6? Well, I still recommend it. I mean, it's a pretty much no-brainer. If you're looking for the best performance for the amount of money that you're paying, and by far a huge margin compared to its closest competitors, I think the POCO F6 is still something that you might just want to go ahead and grab it. The performance coming off from this device at this price point again is quite unbelievable. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on what you think about the POCO F6. Comment down below. And yeah, again, thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. I'm a bit excited, I know. Don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel, and I look very much forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do take care and stay safe. Bye bye.